Are second-hand bags considered worn and old? No way. The classic series is often more precious than brand new items. Japanese cuisine emphasizes the presentation of ingredients, and Kansai-style kaiseki cuisine is undoubtedly one of the finest representations. American artist Daniel Rush is hosting an art exhibition. How does he create exquisite artworks using metals that leave people astonished? Many women work very hard just to be able to reward themselves occasionally, whether it be through luxury cosmetics or perhaps designer purses and handbags. Luxury products have always been popularized. Collectors and investors alike love trendy items, but the resurgence of vintage fashion and an increase in environmental awareness, second-hand purses have become a great choice for many. Mandy, I've been looking to get myself a bag. Would you have any recommendations?
你咁年輕啦，不如我介紹呢一個品牌俾你啊！咁呢一個咧就係一個發財桶嚟嘅。佢呢個咧做咗一個復刻嘅顏色啦，咁樣比較特別少少啦，同埋而家都比較流行嘅款式嚟嘅。
Okay, so this is called a fat choy bucket. I guess in English it would be like a prosperity bucket. This brand doesn't normally have this dual color tone, so this is very interesting.
咁同埋好似而家呢個咁樣咧。 比較迷你款嘅手袋啦，而家都係比較流行嘅。咁佢呢一個咧雖然係二手啦，但係佢都會有一個經典嘅 pattern 啦，咁佢都係屬於一個新款嚟嘅。
So this is also a very trendy particular item because of its shape, because of its size, and it's also got a very interesting pattern to it as well. So it's not a particular vintage one, it's still very lovely.
仲有一款手袋咧，我都想介紹俾你喎。咁呢一款手袋啦，咁佢個顏色啦就比較易襯啦，咁唔會怕去染污糟到個袋啦，同埋呢個皮質咧，咁就唔會咁容易刮花嘅。
And this is a bit more of an evergreen style, and because it's black, it's a lot easier to maintain. So you don't have to worry about wearing a particular color that's going to get the color onto the bag. There is a lot of stigma related to the second-hand luxury bag market. Is it really founded on any basis at all?
其實都唔係嘅，因為咧喺二手市場啦，咁你可以揾到一啲絕版咗嘅款式啦。一般專門店咧就唔會賣到呢啲款式㗎啦。
Right, so with second-hand luxury bags, there are so many different styles and exclusive bags that you could get, and it's very difficult to get those at the original time or at the original price. But you can always find something collectible in and within that market. The rapid rise in interest in second-hand luxury goods have made shopping for treasures a hot trend. But where there is value, there are risks. If you sought to trade designer purses at a good price, you have to do your homework. So, Mandy, could you share with me some risks that may be involved in purchasing these luxury second-hand bags?
咁當然最驚就係買到假嘅手袋啦，同埋一啲翻新過嘅手袋啦，例如佢做過嘅顏色啦，同埋一啲非原裝配件啦。咁咧佢嘅人手車工嘅啦，啲車線啦，同埋佢嘅五金啦，係咪佢嘅配件嚟嘅？咁仲有啦，我哋會檢查一下佢嘅二手嘅情況啦，各位會唔會做過一啲顏色啊咁樣咯。
Okay, so basically we need to be aware that there may be fakes around, and sometimes there may be some additional amendments to it, like new kind of additions or new colors. So to that end, right, if I'm planning to simply flip the purchase, so after I purchase it, I immediately want to sell it off, how would I be able to maintain the quality of the handbag?
淺色嘅手袋啦，盡量就避免着呢個黑色衫啦、深色嘅顏色嘅衫啦，同埋避免咧手指甲刮花咯。咁可以咧配合呢一個塵袋啦。咁樣首先將自己嘅個人物品放落個塵袋入邊，然之後成個塵袋放入手袋。
Alright, so there are many steps we could take, including making sure that we don't accidentally scratch it with our nails, and perhaps also don't wear dark colored clothing because otherwise it would get onto the bag. But another thing that some women do take care of is making sure that even the innards are taken care of. So you would put stuffings in there. It could be the original bag, the bag covering that's protecting the bag, and we'll put it inside to prevent As shopping trends change, many who buy luxury goods consider not only the style, but also the degree of value retention. Some even say that buying a purse is a better investment than buying stocks. However, not all have the ability to retain their value easily. So what might be the potential appreciation and value in second-hand luxury bags?
咁二手手袋咧升值嘅潛能咧就係講緊有機會高於佢當時購入嘅價錢啦，將來賣出咁就可以睇下我前面呢度呢啲咧都係呢個品牌啦嘅 Vintage 系列嚟嘅。咁呢一啲款式咧都係一啲比較市場罕有同埋已經係停產嘅款式嚟㗎啦，同埋咧佢以前嘅古董款式咧咁嘅五金位置咧都唔會褪色嘅。
I see. So it really depends on the year of which you could buy them from, and it also depends on its rarity and how hard it is to be able to obtain them. And if for this particular brand, the color of the gold never changes, even though these bags have been around for, I suppose, decades.
咁就例如我手上面而家拎住呢一個啦，咁佢嘅升值嘅潛力咧就等於當時購入嘅價錢咧40% 左右。
Wow, so this has actually risen by 40%. There is actually such a large increase in value for these luxury bags. I never even thought about that. So what are the characteristics of collection level bags? Like, is there something that makes them reach collection level?
喺二手市場嚟講啦，比較為罕有嘅款式啦，同埋絕版嘅款式啦，例如我而家前面咧呢兩隻啦，咁呢一個咧就係同一個設計師合作嘅手袋咧，2009年出產嘅，咁呢一個設計師咧咁已經已故㗎啦，咁喺市場裏邊唔會再有㗎啦。
I see. So it really depends on how exclusive the bags are and how exclusive the designs are. Like, for example, this one, the designer has already passed away, so this one has appreciated significantly.
呢一個大概升值咗差唔多有8至10倍嘅。
Wow, goodness. So this one actually reached 8 to 10 times its original price. So how about this one? What's special about it?
咁呢一個咧就係呢一個品牌咧2021年啦嘅限量嘅 limited edition 嚟嘅，咁佢做咗一個比較特別嘅彩繪喺個手袋上面咧。
Okay, so this is a 2021 limited edition bag, and it's got really lovely graphic on it, and people love these sort of artworks in collaboration with the luxury brands. So where do you see the second-hand luxury bag market going? What is the future of this particular market?
咁我相信呢個二手市場啦，未來將會發展得越嚟越成熟啦，同埋越嚟越蓬勃嘅。咁因為世界各地啦對呢個二手名牌咧嘅需求越嚟越大啦。
Okay, so you're pretty optimistic about the development of the second-hand luxury bag market because a lot of people are getting into it, not just in Hong Kong but globally as well. And I guess the second-hand luxury bag market is only going to appreciate from here on. I used to want to buy luxury bags because they're beautiful, and now I want to buy it because it has investment value. But personally, I really think it's important to do your homework because any investment has got its own risks.
I know we'll be having Japanese cuisine today.
That's right, Juliana. It's modern Japanese in a modern environment.
Is it going to be omakase?
Well, you know what? Omakase, teppanyaki, kaiseki. I think all of these are different forms of Japanese fine dining that Hong Kong audiences are very familiar with. But today we're going to be having something a little bit different. It's called kapo.
Kapo. I've actually heard of it, but I've never tried it before.
Great. Well, we're in for a treat. Chef, please. The head chef combines the essence of traditional Japanese cuisine with Western cooking techniques to put the ingredients in the spotlight, creating modern Kansai-style Kapo cuisine.
Usually, Kappo restaurant have a counter table, and the customer can see the how work the chef. And then Kappo restaurant serving the Japanese food like tempura, sushi, even soba noodle, whatever. We do a lot of things. Diner can have a complete understanding of the dish, and then we can introduce not only the ingredient, but also the process and the intentions.
The appetizer is a lobster and peach salad that's very appetizing. The sweet and sour taste of the white peach, the Kyoto tofu cream soybean fragrance, and the herby notes of the olive oil enhance the freshness of the lobster.
Here's a lobster fish salad. Enjoy.
Thank you. So the chef told me the first thing we need to do is take this shiso.
Okay.
These are shiso flowers. You know, usually when you have sushi or sashimi, there's that leaf, that really fragrant leaf. Well, this is the flower. We can't eat the stem, but we take these flowers, we sprinkle it on top on the dish here. All right, give it a taste and tell me what you think.
I just tried the caviar. I believe it's caviar, but it tastes really earthy.
So apparently, this is not caviar. It looks like caviar, but it's a vegetarian caviar called Belvedere. It's in the same family as quinoa.
No wonder, because when I taste it, it tastes nothing like caviar. It's not, firstly, it's not salty.
Right.
It actually has an earthy taste to it.
Earthy. Try the lobster and tell me what you think, because coming from Boston, you must be...
Super critical.
Yeah.
The lobster is cooked to perfection. The meat is firm yet tender, with a hint of sweetness. And the meat is actually very rich and buttery. So I feel like the chef did a really amazing job with preparing and cooking the lobster.
Well, I'm gonna trust your taste in lobster. I'm gonna try the peach here. This is really kind of the main character of this dish. Japanese white peach, very tender, juicy. It's sweet, but not sweet to the extent that it leaves that heavy feeling in your mouth. It's got just the right amount of tart, and I like it how the chef has paired it with almond flakes. So you get the tender, juicy texture of the peach, but then you also get that crunchiness. It's a nice surprise. Chef Ryota draws inspiration from tradition but is not bound by it. He uses the simple grilled geoduck, allowing us to savor the natural flavors of the ingredients. I mean, look at this presentation. It's so attractive, and these combinations, you would never think about it. You know, broccolini with geoduck, and then these look like some kind of pine needles.
Right. It's like East meets West.
Such a beautiful presentation. I mean, it's all about the ingredients, right? Very simple. You're just tasting the freshness of the geoduck with a hint of the alcohol that was poured on top, but really wonderful, nothing super complicated.
I think the way that it's cooked, it's grilled, so it maintains its natural flavors, and it just brings out the seafood and the ocean flavors that the geoduck is so well defined by. And I love that it's just, when you eat it, it's so tender.
Very tender.
Yeah, you don't even have to chew it.
The eel soup made from Japanese eel bone is delicious. Tender eel meat and a touch of plum sauce embellish flavors. Served with chewy and smooth potato noodles, the combination creates a unique and delightful taste and texture. Eel with potato noodles.
Oh, it smells really refreshing.
Oh, I love clear broths in Japanese food. Once again, it's so much about the simple flavors and ingredients. There's nothing to hide here in the clear broth. It has to be good for it to taste good.
Let me try the eel. The eel is tender and delicate, but it adds a little bit of a subtle smokiness to the entire soup itself, almost adding a little bit of depth and complexity to the entire dish.
And the potato noodle, I feel it goes perfectly with this clear broth. Both very neutral in taste, but they go really well together.
From this menu, the special dish is soup. Using the Konga eel from Awaji Island, which is nearby Osaka. And also this dish from original from Osaka, very traditional style. So, and then Osaka people always eat in the summertime. And actually, so many jobs to cut in the bone need a lot of skill. So this is, I think, very special in the Hong Kong.
In Asian cuisine, rice is a high status, and the taste and texture of rice are particularly important in Japanese cuisine. The main course is the chef's carefully prepared traditional Japanese donabe rice. When you open the lid, the rich black truffle, sweet corn, and rice aroma fill the entire restaurant. The three flavors fill your mouth, and the color, fragrance, and taste linger on the palate, making it hard to enjoy this dish slowly. You know, Juliana, at the end of so many Japanese meals, you have a rice dish. In our Kapo fine dining experience, there's no exception, except a lot of time when you go to teppanyaki, the rice has meat in it. But this rice is purely vegetarian. It's a corn prepared in 2 ways, along with truffle.
Let's try it.
Yes. There's a buttery texture and sweetness to the dish.
I think the corn really pairs well with the truffle because the corn adds sweetness and then the truffle has a hint of umami flavor. So both of them really go well together.
What a nice way to end the meal. Juliana, what do you think of our Kapo fine dining experience?
It was absolutely exquisite. The chef used the freshest ingredients and paired them so well together. It's like we took a trip to Japan.
That's right. You know, if you think back on our meal, it was all about using simple and understated cooking methods to bring out and put the focus on the ingredients, which is really the essence of Japanese cuisine.
Hong Kong is a small place with a large population, and it's really difficult to get away from the hustle and bustle of the streets. But if you are looking to get away, how about attending an art exhibition? You might experience quite a unique journey. We're here at an Edifying Journey exhibition by Daniel Brush. This is not only his first exhibition held in Asia, but it also showcases his never-before-seen creations. Hi Elise, could you introduce to me who Daniel Brush is?
Daniel Brush was an artist, a full-rounded artist, first a philosopher, art history professor, goldsmith, metalsmith, and jeweler, sculptor, and painter.
I see. Why have you picked the Edifying Journey to exhibit at L'École? Because understandably, your institution has exhibited other works before.
For each exhibition, we aim to unveil to the audience how eclectic jewelry can be. And Daniel Brush is the first artist we exhibit the work from in an exhibition.
I see.
And we are very excited as well because this is the very first time his creations are shown in Asia.
Is there a special meaning to the name Edifying Journey?
Crafting and creating a journey was Daniel's lifetime quest. He was also a philosopher and he was reading a lot of philosophy. So his pieces were not only a beautiful object, but also meant to provoke thoughts. Exactly, yes.
I see. Daniel Brush once said, "Jewelry is a vehicle that is close to God, a channel that can infuse dreams into daily life." Along with his creative journey throughout the different eras, Daniel Brush not only delves into ancient craftsmanship, but also experiments with aluminium and steel in innovative ways, aiming to breathe new life into these forgotten metals. So you mentioned that the material choice that Daniel Brush uses is quite unique. Could you share some signature pieces?
Yes, Daniel was fascinated by gold as a material. And he was actually like the Etruscans or the medieval alchemists trying to make the most beautiful pieces out of it. And for example, this brooch is combining granulation and gold mosaic in a very modern way, but reinventing the ancient techniques, which enable to push the technical boundaries.
So why would he use aluminium? It's such a soft material to use.
Well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, Daniel liked to provoke thoughts. You know, we talked about him as a philosopher,
Yes.
and he really questioned the idea of value and preciousness. So to him, jewelry didn't have to be expensive or made out of expensive material. And you can see here that he was sculpting, literally. He created these magnetic brooches, created movement out of aluminium by patiently engraving and sculpting it. And you can really see, it looks like a fabric,
Yes,
almost.
it does.
With gemstones in the center. So it's more the hours of work and the artistry that make these pieces precious, but not the material.
I see. Whether in terms of material selection or craftsmanship, Daniel Brush sublimely pushes perfection to its limits. From philosophical explorations to alchemical pursuits, he has completely subverted our understanding of gold, steel, and aluminium. As such, he has been dubbed the modern alchemist. So Daniel Brush is known as a philosopher as well as a jeweler. Why is that?
Yes, Daniel Brush was a philosopher, and in his works he really meant to provoke thoughts and meditation. Jewelry to him was really a vehicle to the gods. So if I quote him, it was a conduit to allow dreams into our lives, into the maze of it all. This series, Cantos for 1,000 Miles, is remarkable at many levels. First of all, it's crafted and sculpted out of steel. It's a series of 24 steel squares that have been very passionately engraved by Daniel and set with diamonds. And when you look at these series interacting and playing with light, it looks different from different angles and at different times.
I see. So is there philosophical thinking behind the crafting of these steel pieces?
He was appreciating every single moment in the research process, in the creative process, in always pushing the technical boundaries further. The works he did were meant to be touched, to be admired, and to be very essential.
I see. So I guess that is also his interpretation of enjoying life, right? To make sure that his
Dolce Vita, in a way.
he himself, you mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.